The killings of Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker who brutally raped and tortured over a dozen victims, and Jeffrey Dahmer, that's the country's most recent and most infamous serial killer. His gruesome acts of cannibalism rocked the nation. Who could sympathize or have any compassion for these murderers? My guests today not only admire the killers, but for some, it's an obsession. Meet Donna. She says she is obsessed with all serial killers. Her biggest crush is on Jeffrey Dahmer. Next to her is Randall, who says he'd love to be Charles Manson. He admires the power and control that the killer has over people. 16-year-old Eva is obsessed with Richard Ramirez. She says she writes him every day, and he writes back. And finally, Christine says she has an even closer relationship with Richard Ramirez. In fact, they're engaged and plan to be married later this year. Donna, we're going to start with you. How did the obsession with Jeffrey Dahmer begin? We know you like all serial killers, but how'd you pick this one?
He was the first serial killer, really, that happened in my life that I admired. I'd read a lot about the Zodiac, which happened in the 60s. I wasn't born then.
The Zodiac killing.
Yeah. And then John Wayne Gacy in the 70s, and I was like 10. I didn't know anything about serial killers. And when I was about 12 or 13, I started reading all these books, getting all this information. I was completely fascinated by it. Any book that I could get my hands on, I'd read. My father saw a book in a grocery store. He said, "Hey, Don, you might want to go get it, you know, Alone with the Devil." And so then when the Jeff Dahmer thing happened, I paid very close attention, watched all the TV, taped CNN constantly.
What did you think when you saw him on television? You were drawn to him, why?
Well, he's a very good-looking serial killer, and...
how did he appear to you?
I don't know, it's very hard to describe. He looked very, he could do serious damage. That's what he looked like. He had a look in his eye, the way he walked, very passionate and very, I don't know, a lot of the people I deal with on a day-to-day basis, men in particular, seem so blasé. And
he appeared passionate?
He had very strong passion.
Did he appear lonely?
Yeah.
Like he needed a friend?
Yeah, well, that's the reason he killed, is because he didn't want these people to leave. They'd come to his house, and then as soon as they'd want to leave, he would kill them so they couldn't leave.
You began writing to him 2 or 3 times a week, and you wrote him poetry and sent him excerpts from books and poetry. Have you ever received a response?
No, I didn't receive a response.
Why do you think that he hasn't responded?
Well, in my own sick little mind, I thought he was protecting me from him.
He was protecting you from him?
Yeah. But it could be that he thought I was an idiot.
Do you think he should be in jail?
Oh, definitely. He thinks he should be in jail, too. He can't stop what he's doing. He's mentally ill,
right,
and he can't stop killing. I don't think his killings were right. I think that he should be helped. I don't think he's being helped. He needs to be, you know, society needs to be protected from him. And jail does that, but his is just one case out of so many cases I've read about. Serial killers are all over. They need to study them and find out what exactly is wrong with them. With cancer, they study people, find out what's wrong so they can help them.
Do you think he could be helped and then released?
I don't think in my lifetime. I don't think they'll figure out how to do it, but I don't think they're even working on it right now.
Do you think they should work on him?
Oh, without a doubt, because it's innocent people who are being killed.
Right. Now, Randall, you say you would like to be Charles Manson. Why? I notice you have a beard, like a little scraggly kind of beard like that.
Well, it's not exactly an obsession with Charles Manson, more of an admiration, a charismatic individual.
Can you explain it to us?
Pardon?
Can you explain that to us?
He's a charismatic individual. He had control over a harem of 20 women, people to do things for him. How can you not take an interest in that? Any man in this audience, I think, would be interested in that.
Okay. But not every man in the... I don't know that every man in the audience would you take an interest in that?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
So maybe we do need an explanation. why you would like to be him.
the control factor. He's a genius.
Okay.
I'd like to be able to do things and pull off things as well as he does. Just average everyday living. He went off into the desert. He lived on his own thing. He didn't stayed away from the system. He created his own system. People still had to mess with him. I'd like to do something like that.
To be able to do something like that. Does do the murders upset you at all, or?
The murders? Nah.
Nothing. You're not upset by that.
I don't advocate it, but not something I would do.
But if somebody gets in the way, or there's a party or something, okay.